I got the sniper on top of the roof. You'll never hear when I shoot. Bitch, you know I got nothing to lose.
You got me, Tariq.
You'll never hear when I
Man, that was the funniest stuff I have ever seen in Power. The way old boy just did the Harlem Shake on him when he got shot. But anyway, welcome to your episode 210 review for Power Book 2 finale. Your boy Tariq is free finally, and all thanks to Brayden. Here's the MVP of the night. Took one for the team, told on himself. Is this going to be the end of course correct? We shall see. But Tariq is not quite out the gate yet. All season we've been talking about Cristobal's coming back, 2-Bits coming back, but we didn't get any of these two. What they gave y'all at this finale was Tariq St. Patrick. That's right. Agent Rodriguez has returned. Agent Rodriguez has returned. Keep that in mind. And she was the handler for Mecca. We found all that out. But yeah, Tariq got some trouble coming his way in season 3. But anyway, Mecca got shot. Zeke got shot. Lorenzo, you better watch out. Lauren's dead. Off screen, of course, which I have a problem with. But speaking of off screen deaths, can we all confirm that Monet killed Carrie? I think it was heavily implied that she did in this episode. But anyway, all that and more in your Power Book 2 finale review, and also Power Book 4 Force coming up right after this. So make sure to stay tuned, guys. Let's go ahead and get into it.
They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poet's part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come up hard. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it.
I never took a straight path nowhere. Life's full of twists and turns, bumps and bruises. I live, I learn. I'm from that city full of yellow cabs and skyscrapers. It's hard to get a start in these.
What's going on, y'all? Back here again with your episode 210 review for Power Book 2. Finally made it, guys. It felt like it's been a long journey. I think it was that 3 weeks that they took that break. But yeah, even though it's been 10 episodes, it's been probably like 13 or 14 weeks. But yeah, I'm definitely glad I made it here, guys. Last year, I didn't even do a finale review, which I felt so bad. I felt like such a bum for not getting on here. Because I started the series last year as far as my reviews, but I never finished. But this year, including Power Book 3, I went through every episode. I don't believe I missed any episodes. But yeah, I'm definitely glad I took the journey this year. Just overall, Power Book 2, where it started versus where we are now. Because where it started, this season didn't start off so hot. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. It was just kind of there, and then like around it just kept getting better and better. It's like slowly kept getting better, but like episode 5, that was it for me. That's, you know, when it really switched gears. But anyway, guys, but yeah, overall, good season. I think they ended off with a bang. I will go over the highlights tonight. Maybe not every, you know, morsel of information for this review, because I'm going to try to condense this down and add Power Book 4 Force at the end of the review. But there'll probably be more of a quick review for that, because overall I felt like showing it right after the finale kind of hurt it, because some people like myself tried to watch a Force right after 2, so that may have interfered with my thought process during, you know, Force, because I was watching it, but I was just like, okay. But to be fair, it was really an introductory episode, but I'm getting into that a little bit too fast, so I'll talk about that at the end of the review here. But timestamps will be up if y'all want to go to either or PowerBook 2 or PowerBook 4. All right, guys. So we start off the episode with Monet and Mecca, and he's backing off his plans, or he's hesitating to take Lorenzo out. And then this turns into Monet wanting Kane to take Lorenzo out. I don't know why I call him Lorenzo. She wants Kane to take Lorenzo out. So this starts a point of interest for me in the episode. I think where they kind of hurt it was where they went with the whole psych out deal, like at the later in the episode where he thought he was supposed to be taking out his father, but Monet was lying to him or something like that. And I think this would have been so much more powerful if he really had to make that decision. Even if he didn't show him, they could have showed him where he chose not to take out his father, or if they chose to make him take him out. But I think that would have been more of a powerful decision in the episode. But because you knew that the actual plan later in the episode was not to take out Lorenzo after she found out old dude was a snitch. So that's the only thing that I would say that they probably could have changed in this episode instead of going with that psych out. But anyway, it was nice seeing up to that point he had to do that, the decision he was struggling with. And even in that point where he thought he was about to take Lorenzo out, just the facials, and you saw the struggle he had with shooting his father. So I was like, oh man, he got some feelings for his pops. But, I thought that was cool up into that point where, what Tariq was basically like, nah, man, we was just playing with you. I was like, that just kind of ruined the whole moment. What if it was, well, that was real to Kane, but with everybody else, they knew what the plan was outside of Kane. But yeah, I wanted to touch on that part, but I thought it would have been more powerful if it was real, so to say, if it was actually a real choice, and not influenced or manipulated by Tariq and Monet. So next topic I want to talk about here is Tariq's case. We get the final witness, which is Brayden. Brayden, he comes into court. I'm thinking he's gonna say something against Kane or something like that, because I didn't think he was gonna say anything about Tariq, but I thought it was a chance that he could tell on Kane. But to my surprise, he told on himself. So they definitely got me with that. And I actually got caught by surprise 2 times in this episode, and that's with the whole Lauren death here. But I'll get into that probably right after this. Matter of fact, I'm going to talk about that after this. But anyway, Brayden, MVP of the night. He definitely took one for the team. Although his father, I think his father is taking him out of I'm about to say choke. Stansfield. His father's taking him out of Stansfield. So what does that mean for course correct? Where is Brayden going? I forgot. Did he say where he was taking Brayden? So are they going to continue the business? That only remains to be seen in season 3. But that's what we got with Brayden. But of course, Brayden didn't really explain what happened with Lauren. Well, he didn't tell the whole truth, so to say. But speaking of Lauren, let's go ahead and get into this. So Lauren is dead. And I said last episode that, I wouldn't like it if we find out that she's dead, because of course there is another off-screen death. She got pistol whipped. I was like, okay, but I'm like, I want to see it, man. And I'm like, we got Raina getting shot. We got Lakeisha getting her head blown off. So why couldn't we have seen I'm about to call her Tasha because I remember her from Everybody Hates Chris. Lauren. I was this close to saying that. Y'all remember she played on Everybody Hates Chris as Tasha, but yeah, Lauren is dead, and it looked like it was made to be an accident. So I'm assuming we're not gonna get that, of course, as far as seeing that in action. So it's just like, really, I'm like, we couldn't see like a car wreck, a body, something. But instead we just get some exposition. And I was just like, you know what? Whatever, man. But I'm like, look, in season 3, y'all better stop with these off-screen stuff. I don't want to see that shit no more. Well, it wasn't anything to see. But yeah, I talked about this earlier when I was doing my intro, and Monet, it was heavily implied that she did it because you had Mecca saying she lied about it, and then you had Whitman show up in the episode, and Zeke kept going to him, asking him questions about the case, and he showed Zeke photos of Monet at the scene of the crime, or near the scene of the crime. So that put thoughts in Zeke's head, which led him to his demise later in the episode, which I'm gonna talk about that as well. But yeah, I think they definitely implied that Monet did it. So the whole suicide thing, I'm not going with that. She did that shit. But anyway, what else we got here? Let's go to the scene where Tariq is talking to Kane about killing Lorenzo. Even though I touched on this already, I thought that was a cool scene as well. It was kind of like Tariq had this big brother moment, so to say, with Kane, because he knew about killing his father and he was trying to pass down that information. And, you know, he was just telling Kane, like, look, man, stop trying to be so tough and let me talk to you for a minute, young blood. But, and then Kane was listening to him. But, I mean, just because it didn't happen this season, you never know. He may be forced with that decision again. And, you know, I don't think everything is just going to go back to, happily ever after this episode. Kane, for all we know, is, you know, gonna be on that I want to run the business type deal, and then, you know, him and Lorenzo are gonna butt heads again. So you never know. But for now, we see that Kane has feelings for his father. So it was kind of cool seeing that softer side of Kane, so to say, or a more scared side of Kane. Okay, so let's move back to Tariq and Yaz here. Want to talk about this. It seems like we're wrapping up the Yaz storyline, possibly. Of course, it was implied in the episode that Tariq is probably gonna keep going after Tasha and Yaz and find a way to be with them. But later in the episode, he did gain custody of Yaz, which I thought it was too late because she was with the family, but he was able to get them back, get her back. And then after the Lauren situation, he decided to pull strings. I kind of figured he would reach back out to Tamika, even though she said, "Don't call me again, boy." I figured he would do something like that. And then, but yeah, it was definitely a surprise seeing Tasha. I gave up on seeing Tasha. So I didn't think she was going to come back at all. I thought we had more of a chance of seeing 2-Bit than Tasha, but yeah, Tasha came back. And, but yeah, it was nice seeing Yaz back with Tasha. I think that's rightfully where she belongs. Because I mean, what can she do with Tariq and the lifestyle he lives? So I think he wised up and figured out that, you know, the better place was with Tasha. But it's better than being cooped up in some foster home, because she was looking sad with with that birthday cake in the last episode. Oh man, but I'm glad she's back with Tasha. But next person I got on here is Tate. We didn't get much of Tate in this episode. You know, he finally got the one up on Sweeney. He confronts him in this episode with the DNC guy. I think his name is Steve. So yeah, he's making his attempt of going to Congress. Later in the episode, he meets up with Kamal. Kamal is still mad at him though. And then we find out Tate wants Kamal to be his head of security. So are we progressing this towards book 5? The all mysterious. Is this going to happen book 5? I don't know. But you gotta say that this is going towards book 5. But or are they going to put this in season 3? I don't know. All right, so main event time. Time for the Hangar shootout where they put this plan to effect. Tariq has this plan of using 3 bags. He gives one to I think Drew, and then one to Lorenzo. Then Diana has the real bag. And it's all Diana's fault in this episode. If she didn't look in that dang bag, which set off this whole chain reaction of her telling Lorenzo about the papers and the trust, and then that set him off to go off the plan and go find Mecca, who he thought was Mecca. And that's another problem I had this episode. I'm like, okay, you mistook Zeke for Mecca. I mean, well, I guess he did have the hood on, but it still didn't make sense to me. I see you now, Mecca. What? But anyway, yeah, so Lorenzo is gonna have some trouble in season 3, because stuff doesn't stay buried long in power. So I think Monet is gonna find out about Zeke being killed by Lorenzo. All right, so let's bring it back a little bit here. So of course we start off with Tariq and Kane. Got them a little tag team going on, man. I enjoyed this part so much. And you had Tariq running up with that gun in his hand. I was like, man, Tariq know what he doing, man. But anyway, I'm trying to find out where he got these tactical skills from, man. He only shot like maybe 2 or 3 people, but yeah, he been getting some training somewhere. But old dude was looking stealth like out there in the field with Kane. But yeah, he shot that guy, so he got one off on that random henchman number 1. But yeah, that was so hilarious to me. So I definitely love that part of the episode. And then, of course, like I said earlier in the episode, you had where Kane had the decision. Well, he thought he had the false illusion of him having to kill Lorenzo. But I talked about that earlier in the episode. Also, you have Drew tag teaming with Kane against the BSK. Was it Carlito and some other guy, I think. And they don't kill him. They put him in a trunk, so we didn't get to see the aftermath of him being taught a lesson, so to say, because they said they were going to teach him a lesson. So I guess in season 3, we're going to get him tied up somewhere or something like that. But we did not see Carlito being killed. And that's who was on the ground. That's who Drew was pointing the gun at. I know some people said it was Lil Guap. I was like, Lil Guap is dead. What are y'all talking about? But also, I think before this in the episode, Drew was confronted by Everett, who did not die in this episode. How did this man make it to season 3, y'all? That was a surprise to me. Everett makes it to season 3. So yeah, he confronts him about the key card in the last episode because he used that, and then they didn't finish their conversation. So that's going to be going on in season 3. But season 4, Everett, you will not make it past season 4. And then Diana, she looks in the bag. I mentioned that already as well. But after this, it ultimately results in Lorenzo taking out Zeke. And I'll just speak on Zeke for a moment. Honestly, I really don't feel any type of way about Zeke because I felt like his storyline was over anyway. Originally, I did like a short little video a while back, maybe a week or two ago, and I said that was Zeke on the clock, but I thought it was Evelyn that was gonna come back and he might be in like some type of stray fire or something like that. That's how I thought he could possibly go out. Which we didn't get anything as far as Evelyn is concerned, so we still have that on the table. But I did originally say that they're probably gonna show her more in season 3, but I thought it was possible she'd come back before the season was over with. But we didn't see anything from Evelyn or anything like that. But yeah, Zeke's story is over with, guys. I don't think he had any more to offer as far as a character. I mean, Carrie's, she's gone, and his career seemed to be over with as far as the NBA, or looked to be, on life support. So I think, we're going to get the funeral probably in season 3, and then we're going to get the introduction of his supposed mother, who's really his aunt. But anyway, but yeah, that's what I think on Zeke. I guess you can consider that a major death, yes. But it's just a character I didn't care about. Lauren as well. So there wasn't any deaths that really pulled at my heartstrings in this episode, that I would have to say. But after this, we get the big kill of the season, which was Mecca being took down by Monet. Of course, she was the only one to get close to him, so you figured it was going to be her. They were waiting on Tariq to bring that bag, and then she killed him before Tariq got up to the elevator. And then, but before that, I think he made a call to, which we will find out would be Rodriguez, who comes later on the scene and sees a photo of Tariq at the front desk. They did wipe the cameras, but they didn't wipe all the cameras. And I was like, oh man, this dude just got out of court and here we go again. But I guess it wouldn't be a show if Tariq life was on the line, right? Wasn't on the line. But anyway, so we get that. So she's probably gonna be hunting him down next season. And then we kind of get a setup for season 3 with different scenes. We get Sax and he's talking to Theo again, and we had a little back and forth between Sax and Davis, and it looks like it's gonna be Sax versus Davis next episode. Sax is once again booed up with Jenny. He's pillow talking, and he's gonna be playing for the other team, I guess, or playing both sides, sort of say. And it looks like he wants to take Sax down. Sax wants to take Davis down. And we're gonna see what happens, y'all. And but also we had Tate and Kamal, so I talked about that early in the episode. And then we end the episode with Whitman telling Monet that Zeke is dead, so where they'll be held to pay when she eventually finds out Lorenzo did it, because like I said, secrets don't stay buried long in power. So I do believe she will find this out next season. How will she react? Who knows? But anyway, guys, that is it for your Power Book 2 review. I'm gonna go ahead and move into Power Book 4 Force here. This probably will not take long. I'll just give my overall thoughts here. There were a couple things I did, write down as far as the characters, and maybe do a little character breakdown here. But as far as Power Book 4 is concerned, I could say that I was tired when I was watching this, of course, but I don't think I'm gonna use that as an excuse, guys. There was some action in the first episode here, of course. I think there was some funny moments, like with the parking situation that Tommy kept running into with the first guy, and then when he eventually met Vic and all that. So he got there was some good action scenes in here where he beat up Simon in the alley or whatnot. And and then he killed the two crackhead dudes that were trying to make the drug deal. So I thought that was a cool part in the episode. But I really felt like this would have done better being away from Power Book 2 finale. Like I said, a lot of content creators like myself are probably trying to do both shows at the same time, so that's already putting a strain on us. But with that, I just felt like it was so much as far as book 2 is concerned. I think they should have just gave the night to that, and then we could have had Power Book 4 next week. But anyway, as far as Force is concerned, I think it's gonna be good. I think this episode was more of an introductory episode, and it's just like you got to go through the chore of getting to know different characters. Can you get invested in them? I kind of thought the same thing with 3, that I thought it was going to be such a chore getting to know those characters, but I fell in love with Power Book 3 right off the bat. But 4, not so much. I'm gonna be honest. The only person I still really care about is Tommy at this point. And then we find out he has a black brother. So if you kind of think about it, Tommy, not Ghost, was kind of like Tommy's brother. But we have his actual blood brother that just happens to be black. So I thought that was kind of weird. So is this the spiritual replacement of Ghost? We shall see. But anyway, so we start off the episode with Tommy going down memory lane. So it was nice to see that, kind of seeing where he came from, that struggle he was going through emotionally, driving down the highway, and then remembering all the stuff he went through. So it was, kind of cool seeing that as far as, character development or whatnot. But then we have Tommy, who's supposed to be going to California, but he decides to stop in Chicago. And so from there, he meets, this new crime family or whatnot, headed by Walter Flynn, if I'm not mistaken. So there's Walter Flynn, and then there's his daughter, Claudia, who seems to want to take more of a power role in the family, but her father is against it. So I can see her probably turning against her father. So if we get a death, I think that's maybe how it happens. So but yes, it seems like she wants to take over the family business, or at least have a higher position in the family. And then there's Vic, who is in charge of collections, who he meets Tommy earlier in the episode. And I just, like, in the beginning of the episode, I want Tommy to just knock his block off. So it was cool in that scene where I think it was Jannard and Vic, and they're dealing with the two crackhead guys or whatever, and Tommy just bossed up on everybody. So that was probably my favorite part of the episode. But also we're introduced to Diamond, who is head of the CBI, or was once head of the CBI before he got locked up. And he seems to have an affinity for cutting hair. So he'll be doing business out of a barbershop. And another point of interest in the episode was with him and Jannard, and being in prison has changed him. So he wants to run the business a different way, but Jannard doesn't see it that way. So are these two going to come, are they going to butt heads in this episode? But also during the barbershop scene, we get this, I forgot the name of the cop, but he flashes his badge. I don't know if he's a dirty cop, so I don't know if he's on that Malcolm energy, so to say. So that was another interesting part of the episode as well. So that's going to be a problem for Diamond as well. But other than that, towards the episode, Tommy finally gets to meet Walter Flynn, but Walter tells him to get out of town. And then, of course, Tommy being Tommy, he's not going to listen. So he turns the car around and say he's not going anywhere. So, and he pretty much tells, I forgot old dude's name that's waiting for him in California. So we might have him show up as well. Rodolfo, I think that's his name. So he might come looking for Tommy, who knows? So we got that going on. But also Tommy has a grandmother in this episode as well. And at first I'm like, who is this lady he's looking at? So I kind of had to put it together. I'm like, maybe that's his grandma or something like that. And of course, that was the situation. And I guess she has some type of mental condition, looks like dementia maybe. And she recognized them at one part of the episode, and then she kind of went back off and staring into space, and then he left the little house she was in, and that's when he was followed by old boy, which I forgot his name already. But yeah, so Tommy has a brother out there in the Power universe. But we're gonna give it a chance. We're gonna go to episode 2, but I felt like nothing really big happened as far as this episode. I don't think it like started out with a bang. I just felt like this was a introductory episode. But as far as Power Book 4 Force is concerned, I'm hoping we get more we get more action, we get more adult themes, so to say, because Power Book 2, is written for a younger audience. The main cast or younger kids in college, so it's kind of hard to relate a little bit with that younger vibe. So hopefully we can get back to that grown folk stuff in Power Book 4. But y'all give me y'all thoughts for Power Book 4 and Power Book 2, man. That's gonna wrap it up for you, boy. I hope y'all enjoyed this double feature. Give me y'all thoughts on both episodes, and I will see y'all for Power Book 4 Force next week, as I will be covering this series for the next couple weeks. So can't wait, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into this. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to check me out next time. Push that like, comment, and subscribe, man. Y'all know what to do. What she said. Anyway, I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.